Oh, hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today is a pleasant Sunday Stuff and Things. And on this pleasant Sunday Stuff and Things, we have many stuff and things to talk about, including upcoming videos, things that you can look forward to on Stuff and Things and Stuff and Things Plays. Two channels, gang. We will also have to talk about the Seahawks because they're kind of a big story in the NFL right now, and they've been my team for my whole life, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then we're going to have a new segment called Why Young People Are Wrong About Words. Many of you out there, I think, will enjoy the tenor of that segment. And then, of course, we have your questions, comments, and feedback in hashtag askstuffandthings. So let's get into it. Okay, first of all, what can you look forward to on Stuff and Things and Stuff and Things Plays? Well, I just now recorded the full review of Seattle Pipe Club Give Me Liberty, part of their signature series of blends, and unfortunately a blend, well, is that right to say? A blend that was blended by Joe Langford of the Seattle Pipe Club, and unfortunately he passed away on September 3rd, so that part is definitely very unfortunate. It's not unfortunate that he made this blend because I ended up liking it quite a bit. I don't want to give away the review, but this one worked for me, and a lot of these Seattle Pipe Club blends haven't worked so well for me, but this one was really good. And the full review will be up this Wednesday, so check that out for sure. And then last week I had a little question. I put a hat on and asked, what do you think the next Timeless Style video is going to be about? Some of you guessed correctly, and it is in fact going to be about the Schott Perfecto motorcycle jacket. Hey! I've been wanting to do this video for a long time. When I first thought up the Timeless Style series, it was one of the things that I wanted to feature in a video, but those jackets are expensive. They're around $900 brand new. And I wasn't going to spend $900 on a leather jacket. And so I spent a long time scouring the internet looking for a used jacket in good shape, looking on eBay and other like style forums and things like that. And I finally found one that fit me properly, or at least I hoped it would fit me properly. It seemed like it would be the right size, and then was in good shape for a reasonable price. And I have it now, and I've been trying to break it in. It's a very stiff, very heavy, very thick leather jacket. And I've been doing a lot of preliminary pre-production work to do this video because with all these Timeless Style videos, I'm trying to have something fun at the beginning, a little skit, a little intro that kind of sets the mood, sets the tone for the video. And I've been working hard on this one. Hopefully that comes out in the final product, but next week the video should be, unless something goes horribly wrong, the Timeless Style video for the Schott Perfecto jacket. And then of course we have Elden Ring every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday on Stuff and Things Plays. Please enjoy these videos. All right, the Seahawks. We have to talk about the Seahawks. They are #1 in the NFC West this year. And I think before the season, when they traded away Russell Wilson, I made the prediction that they would probably have a #1 draft pick, that they would be so bad, their record would be so bad, that they would draft very high. I mean, they already have some draft picks because they traded away Russell Wilson, but they would earn a top draft pick this season. And now here we are, almost halfway through the year, and they are 4-3. They are leading in the NFC West. Now, obviously, the Rams didn't play last weekend, and so if they play this week and win, and the Seahawks also win, then I think the Seahawks will still be in #1. I can't remember, but anyway, it's kind of crazy to see them at the top of the NFC West. Geno Smith, a backup for years now, has been playing amazingly well. He has one of the best quarterback ratings in the NFL. Who foresaw that? Russell Wilson has not been playing well at all, and then he was out last week with an injury. The running game is really coming together, even though Penny was injured, out for the year. Kenneth Walker stepped in and just started doing amazingly well. They're fun to watch. Their offense is just so much fun to watch. Now, their defense The last 2 weeks have been okay, but for most of the year have been horrible, like pretty much last in the NFL horrible. And so they've been in a lot of shootout games where they're scoring a lot of points, but they're getting a lot of points scored upon them as well. But if the defense can keep it together and continue improving, and if the offense keeps playing the way it is, the running game and the passing game, the Seahawks could make it to the playoffs after having traded away their franchise future Hall of Famer quarterback and giving the starting job to a, quote, backup quarterback in Geno Smith. And that would be such a fun story, and it would be so cool to see. It's funny how I've kind of been revitalized. I've always been watching the Seahawks the last few years with Russell Wilson, but I've always just kind of been, like they're my team, I'm gonna watch them, but there wasn't a lot of excitement around them. And now there is. There are a lot of young new draft picks who are doing really well. It just seems like this team could do great. And the more we hear about Russell Wilson and the relationship that he had with ownership and Pete Carroll, the more it seems like maybe they were right to get rid of him. Maybe he was more trouble than he was worth. I don't know. I don't want to minimize everything he did for the city of Seattle as far as getting the first Super Bowl championship ever in Seattle. Like, that was amazing, and he was a big part of that. But maybe it was time to move on? I don't know. Suffice to say, I'm quite pleased by what's going on this season. And even if they don't win another game, I'm still enjoying the experience, and it's been really fun to watch them. And I can't wait to see them play this week. We'll see what happens. And now a new segment, Why Young People Are Wrong About Words. This week, aesthetic. Now, I've been scouring what many people call the internet, or the World Wide Web, and I can't help but notice a disturbing trend in the way young people, or Zoomers, are using our English language. They are using the word aesthetic in a way that I find displeasing. Let's look at the dictionary definition of aesthetic. Adjective. Definition of aesthetic. Of relating to or dealing with aesthetics or the aesthetic theories. B. Artistic, a work of aesthetic value. There is also the noun form. Aesthetics or aesthetics, a branch of philosophy dealing with the nature of beauty, art, and taste, and with the creation and appreciation of beauty. A particular theory or conception of beauty or art. A particular taste for or approach to what is pleasing to the senses and especially to the sight. But recently I've noticed the young people on the internet saying things like, "Look at that sunset, it's so aesthetic. Look at how aesthetic that girl is. Ooh, look at him, he's really aesthetic." And I'm here to tell you right now, I disapprove of using aesthetic as a synonym for hot, or pretty, or beautiful. I don't appreciate it being used that way. I think of it more as the noun, the second definition, a particular theory or conception of beauty or art, referring to a particular aesthetic. I do not appreciate people using it as a synonym for beautiful or attractive. Now, I will admit that one of the definitions for the adjective use of the word is pleasing in appearance, attractive, but I don't like it to be used in that way, and that is why young people are wrong about words. And now, gang, it's time for hashtag askstuffandthings. Remember, if you have a question for me and you would like it answered on the Sunday Stuff and Things, tweet at SAT Bradley with the hashtag askstuffandthings, and I will do my best to answer your question. You can also write to me via Patreon if you are a Patreon supporter, and your question will go to the front of the line. You can also leave comments on YouTube videos. I read through every single one, and I try to pick out good questions, comments, and feedback from there as well. First, via Twitter, we have a question from Hamoud Al-Hamoud. They say, "Hello, Bradley. Lately, I find myself leaning towards vapors. There is something about that bready and yeasty taste that keeps me coming back. So my question is, what is the most bread yeasty blends, or bread-like yeasty blends, that you have ever tried?" It's a good question, Hamoud. I think for me, something that comes to mind immediately would be formerly Dunhill Why can't I think of the word now? Navy rolls, Dunhill, because I think it was Dunhill Deluxe Navy rolls originally. Now it's just Peterson Navy rolls. Has a really bready, yeasty quality to it. I think Samuel Galwith Full Virginia Flake has a good bready, yeasty quality. So those are two that you could check into right off the bat. I think you will be pleased with either one. Next, from YouTube, Dr. Rockwood asks, I really appreciate your insight on seasonal teas, but what's your pipe rotation looking like these days? I know you did a video on this many months ago, but I'm always curious about people's pipe rotations. What's the briar you reach for the most these days? What's your most est pipe nowadays? Cheers from Canada. Thank you for the question. It hasn't changed much since I did that video. I think I did a video called My Pipe Starting Lineup or something like that. There is... trying to remember just off the top of my head what I've got. I rotate through them. They're lined up on a shelf and I rotate through them day by day. So I'm not reaching for a particular pipe. I'm just reaching for the next one up, the next one in the lineup. And it is, I think I have my little bent kind of egg-shaped Castello, a little bent billiardy guy. I've got my Castello Shape 55 is next. Then I think I have, the Ashton. I have an Ashton next. Then I believe it is my little Castello rusticated billiard. Then it might be my Peterson sterling silver spigot. Then my Dunhill straight saddle bit billiard from 1964. The root briar. What's next? I'm trying to remember. I think maybe my another Castello. There's the Mark Tinsley. I always say Tinsley or Tinsky. I always confuse that. Kind of author-shaped pipe or kind of calabash-shaped pipe. There is the... I think I have one more Castello in there. A lot of Castellos. And then also my Savinelli Corallo di Mare. I think that's my lineup right now. Next, we have some feedback from last week's Sunday Stuff and Things. This is from Scottum. Thank you for the $2 super thanks, Scottum. I actually love East Farthing. Reminds me of being a child and smelling my dad S in the family room. It tastes like I always thought a pipe would. Given your dislike of noticeable toppings, well, I look forward to your thoughts. We shall see. We did open a box last week from a good friend, Zach, and East Farthing was in there, so I will definitely be trying that out soon. Next, from Scott Taylor, thank you for the super thanks, Scott. Scott says, my cousin works the Rustler Peak Fire Lookout in Oregon and keeps me updated on all the fires. Sounds like snow fell recently at higher elevations. Hopefully that's it for the fires. And I think it is. We have had so much rain in the last week, and we are going to have a ton more tomorrow, and it seems pretty statewide. So at least in Washington, I think most of the fires are under control and will be under control, and I'm imagining that for the rest of the year, fires should not be an issue. Fingers crossed. Okay, and next, when I mentioned the hat that I put on, was asking what people thought the next timeless style was, people had lots of guesses, but a couple people got it right. Mark Collins said Marlon Brando. So Marlon Brando from The Wild One, that's what I was going for. And Michael Case said Marlon Brando leather motorcycle jacket. So you were both correct, and yes, it is the Schott Perfecto, as I mentioned earlier. We have feedback from the Give Me Liberty First Impressions video that I posted last week. Flat Cat Piper says, I had the same troubles in my review. I did not give it a high rating, but I am hopeful that, after cellaring it for a year, it will be a good blend. I did not get any of the hay that I expected from Virginia's, and it was a tad on the acidic side for my taste. Giving it some time in a mason jar should bring down the acidic quality. Another negative is that these tins are $35 to $40. They are 4 ounces, but that is only twice as much as the normal 1.75 to 2 ounce tins that sell for $12 to $15. I think coming down a little on the price would make these blends a little more accessible to pipe tea folks. I'm also looking forward to seeing what you think about this blend once you have tried it for a little longer. Stay safe. Thanks, Flat Cat Piper. And yeah, they are a bit spendy, and the SPC blends in general are a bit spendy. Now, obviously, this depends on where you are in the world, because some people are paying a lot more. But just your typical tin being $11 to $12, you would think if you're getting double that, it would be around $24, $25, but $35 is a bit spendy. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Next from Ryan Thompson. I wish I could try more SPC plum. Okay, there should be a period. I wish I could try some more SPC. Plum pudding is phenomenal. I would S nothing but that in the cooler months. But their prices have gotten ridiculous over the years. I'm on the hunt nowadays for a replacement. Glad I snagged a pound of plum pudding for my cellar before the prices skyrocketed. Even happier that I have my friend Bradley to try these for me. Thanks, Ryan. And yes, again, the prices are a little bit on the high side. Next from Keith Mullins, this stuff is great, and I managed to get someone who only S's aromatics to try, and he enjoyed it quite a bit. The only problem is the moisture level. I didn't jar this one for weeks after I opened it. It's still pretty moist now, but it's S-able at this point at least. So yes, the main negatives for this blend, at least that I have found so far, are the price and the moisture level. I definitely rated it drowned rat in my review and talked about the process that I had to go through to dry it out properly to actually enjoy it. So stay tuned for the full review on Wednesday and you will see more about that. All right, gang, but now it is time for the very best part of the show, and that is where we thank our Patreon supporters. If you would like to support the channels on Patreon, there is a link in the description box below, and it is much appreciated. It helps pay for the fancy camera that is filming this video, the lights that are shining upon me, blends for review, other things that I can use to produce these videos. It is much appreciated. You can also hit that super thanks button down below as well if you would like to donate directly. But every week, we like to shout out those who support us on Patreon at $25 or more a month. People like Kirk Crompton, Glenn, Jason Buckner, Gloria Phillips, MDoftheNorth, David Gaudreau, Nick Papageorgio, John Tice, Ryan McFadin, and Finn O'Hagan. And of course, the Maniacs, the crazy people who support the channels at $100. People like Bob Magee and Ashes of the Phoenix. And we will never forget our Hall of Fame member, our dearly departed friend, Peter Straub. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you all so much for watching, for liking, for subscribing, for hitting that notification button, for helping these videos move up that evil algorithm in the sky. Please stay tuned for the full review of Seattle Pipe Club Give Me Liberty, part of their signature series. Stay tuned for the timeless style video on the Schott Perfecto motorcycle jacket, which will hopefully be posting in another week, a week after this video posts. And of course, every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday on Stuff and Things Plays, the continuing adventures of Kevin the Kurt in the best game of all time, Elden Ring. But until next time, until we meet again, I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things on a very pleasant Sunday Stuff and Things. I'll see you later.